Alright, now here we're going to be working on domain of a function. Now we're given functional notation, so we know that this is the function. Now typically most of our domain restrictions fall into one of two categories. Either we have a fraction look to it, so we have a rational here, or we have a radical. Now in this case we have a fraction look to this, so we have a rational. So with this we know that 0 in the denominator would make this undefined. So what we have to do is find where that occurs. Now the way we do this is we set this up by making it equal to 0. Okay, so here what we'll do is we'll factor this and then set them both equal to 0 and see where that occurs. So we'll have x, x. Now here this is positive, so they'll either be both positive or both negative. And since this is positive, they're both positive. Now we say what multiplies together to give you 7, that'll add to give you 8. Well, that's 7 and 1. Alright, so here x plus 7, we're going to set that equal to 0, and x plus 1 is equal to 0. So we would just subtract 7 from both sides, and we end up with x equal to negative 7, and x equal to negative 1. So when we put in negative 1 in for x, or if we put in negative 7, we'll end up with 0 in the denominator, which would give us an undefined. So that would be our domain restrictions. Now in the past you may have written it as just x cannot equal negative 7, or x cannot equal negative 1. Now the way we write this out, a little bit higher math, what we will do is say from negative infinity to negative 7, we're good. So what we'll do is there'll be a parentheses here, a parentheses here. Now we use a parentheses instead of a bracket because that means that it does not include 7. Then we'll use our little u, which means union. Okay, then it's going from negative, we've got to go from negative 7 to negative 1. Okay, again we're going to use the parentheses because it doesn't include it. Then we'll do union. Okay, then from there we go from negative 1 to positive infinity. Okay, and so this notation tells us the domain of all this. This way would tell us where it's not, this is where it is. So it's from negative infinity, anything from negative 7 down, or negative 7 to negative infinity, then from negative 7 to negative 1, and then negative 1 to infinity. So the only thing it does not include is negative 7 and negative 1. So that would be the domain of this problem.